Hello and welcome. I know it always takes people a few minutes to get my notifications and to come in, but that is fine. So, hello and welcome. Go. Let's put in some welcome. Welcome, everyone. Come on in. And for those who are just joining me or watching the replay and you found me on Periscope or on the Guru Mama page, my name is Mary Jane Tracy. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach. And I come each day giving you the cosmic highway and just tapping into the cosmos on the energies of what as above, so below. What is happening above, what is happening in our heavens, has a reflection to what is happening here on earth. And how the movement of these energies are, thank you, how the movement of these energies has a huge reflection on how things get played out, or the energies get played out within our world. And this energy that, that is coming in right now, is, we're in the last phases of Capricorn. We've been in Capricorn energy since 2017. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. There's been so much transformation and change since 2008 in how the financial markets. We've seen things, coming forth and transforming so much within our lives since 2008. So if we think about the last 12 years, last 19 years of our life. Some of you may not be old enough to, 19 years ago, you might have been 7 years old, or you might have been like, oh, I was only 4. But there were transformations that were happening in and around the world at that time, whether you remember or don't remember. But they do have an influence on you in the subconscious, in how you deal, because you may not have consciously noticed, but the people around you did, and that had an influence on you and how you are reflecting, or how this energy now is being reflected upon you and around you. And with this Capricorn, and with such energy within Capricorn, it is spiritually exhausting. It is where we're just like, whew, we feel a lot. And the moon has gone into Capricorn. The moon's in Capricorn. We have a lot to do with Mars and Eris in Aries. They're conjunct right now, and that has a lot to do with, energies of military squaring off over to Pluto. So we have this energy, this intensities that are coming in and around us. And this is where, for the longest time, I've been telling people to figure things out. If figure out things in your life, figure out who you want to be with, figure out your financials, right? And that can be a hard one for many people, because some that my clients and many people that I know is just like, well, hey, we're just basic income of $15 an hour, and it is frustrating, and it is where what do we do? And this is where what I can feel the frustration. This is where we have to come into the light of love. And one of the beautiful energies that are around us, and especially with Capricorn, it is this spiritual energy of our commitment to who we are. Our commitment, and that's the higher aspect of Capricorn. So, when we have the Mafia brothers, and they're there, or the that are sitting there, or this alliance council, this council there that says, hey, we're giving you a choice. You can be over here and be in the dark and the dingy, or we can work and we can become in the light of our spirituality, even though that we are in what especially coming forth, we're coming into where you might call it the dark night of the soul. That's what many mystics call this. is that we have been going through this dark night of the soul. This is a period of confusion. This is a period of the understanding that you can live with a reality that is different from what you had thought. And at the highest level of this influence can be a prelude to enlightenment and understanding the true nature and the illusions we call reality. This is this energy that is coming in and letting us know that, yeah, it's been emotional and it's been fucking crazy for all of us. But we all, in a consciousness, in a collective, we have all been going through this dark night of the soul. And we are going through this dark night. We are going through this, and it is getting us into our illumination. It is getting us to a place where, yeah, we got to figure some shit out. We got to look at, looking at what, making sure that you appreciate this energy. And I know it's like, in high school, grade 12 or something, and we're like, oh, thank God school's over. We're never going to have to go back to high school again. And there was some, such easier times and pleasantness in there, even though some of us may not have all had great times in high school. But there's that energy of that time of simplicity, or that time of hanging with your friends, or just gathering, or that last, I remember, with my kids with their playing, playing sports, and that this is going to be the last time they play in this league. And remembering those moments, remembering that. And this is where we're coming in with this being the last part, the last hurrah, because Saturn moves into Aquarius tomorrow. And he's going to be there. He's going to be there for the next 2.5 years. And we have this energy that it's like, we have to look at, we have gone through a lot of this dark night of the soul. We've gone through this mystic transformation, and many of us are on this road of transformation, and there's still such, darkness out there. There is this energy of heaviness. I was listening to the news this morning, and I'm getting tired of listening to some of these newscasters because they're all reading a fucking script. A script that is like so programmed on, cheering, yeah, yay, the COVID, the vaccine's here. I'm like, really? Like, this is just like so scripted. And this is why, when you are standing in that truth of you and you're looking at this can be very difficult, because you're standing there and you're looking and you're just saying, this isn't right. And this doesn't feel right for me. And everyone, you see, because we've been trained to watch TV. We've been trained to watch, my mother used to call it the boob tube. You've been trained to watch this energies to come in and say whatever's coming in there has to be true, right? It's the news. We're supposed to trust the news. We're supposed to trust this. And here inside of us, we're saying, no, I don't trust it. So this illusion that is before you, and what Capricorn's been trying to show you, is this misconstrued energy that we are having to move from and stay in our light, and we are exhausted and we're tired and we're like, what the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean, Mama? More shit is going to hit the fan. It is. We're moving into air. And Uranus is in, when it comes to crazy energies and alignments, this is going in where you have to become the authority of you. You have to be your authority. This is not to get lost in the emotional self. You have to come in and be that one and say, I declare this is who I am. That is being that sovereign. That is being that energy where, you got to be a little bit of a risk taker and step out and say, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Today I have an interview for going to school to become an interfaith reverend. And the part of me going into that and stepping into that role is one, this energy is going into my ninth house. It's going into my second Saturn return. So I knew something crazy was going to come in for me that had to do with spirituality, that has to do with something. And this is where it's like looking into where, yeah, this is huge transformation. This isn't the age of Aquarius, just an FYI, and I've explained that many times. This isn't the age of Aquarius, but what this is the age of air. And this energy of transformation and coming into a cycle of 200 years of going to be in air and ending an 800-year cycle. This energy of ending an 800-year cycle that is where the last time they met at this time was 800 years, and setting in a vibrational change of how you want to create this nuances. This is changing, and it's radical because there's no grounding with it. So this is bringing in where it's very, there's no stability with this energy that's coming in. There's no stability with this. So in meaning that when I say there's no stability, this is what I'm saying. There is like, things will change radically. Energies will come in, and things in what you think is like, whoa, I thought this was my reality, but it's not. We were just discussing today because I guess in one of the classrooms in my grandson's, because he's in kindergarten, and my daughter chose to put him into school, which is cool. But one of the classrooms is under, there's COVID in the school. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's like, okay, do you continue? I mean, there's only 3 days left of school. But my thought is like, whoa, I don't want the school dictating to my grandson, but I know it's up to his mom, on vaccinations, on how things are done. So I'm a little leery of the indoctrination of what is coming forward for our children. What's coming forward for our children. So this is where we have to come in the authority. And what you are thinking that your world is like is not going to be the world that you think is. And there's more coming in. And this is where it's like, you may not agree with all of this that's coming in. And those who are opposing you and arguing it in your face and telling you things, that's the dark. That's the dark. And I'm not talking about the darkness of when the lights are out, and you got to understand that this was an eclipsed moon, eclipsed sun, a full eclipse. So you didn't see a lot of things that were happening, and that's going to come out in 3 to 6 months. So this is where it's like, okay, I can't see anything, but I know I need to stay in my light. I know I need to stay in my truth of who I am and continue that within who I am. And this is where we need to go. This is the preparation. And this is going to test of how well you prepare yourself as we are heading in, because that moon was a pivotal point. The conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter at 0 degrees in Aquarius is the next one. It is that star of Bethlehem. It is the same conjunction that happened the night that Jesus was born. It's in the stars. It's the astrology. This conjunction is taking the king in and taking a king out. That's what this conjunction is coming into. It's a very strong and powerful one. Why do you think the 3 magi from the east followed this? And when it conjuncted at that pivotal point over a certain area in the world, they knew because they followed the stars. The Magi's were astrologers. They came in from the east. And this is where this energy is coming in. It's like, where have you been following for your alignment? Because this is transformational as we step forward. And accepting the truth and the love, not the crazy indoctrination that's been being put upon us, right? Hold on and get ready for the ride of your life. Yeah, get ready for the ride of your life. This is where, you know, there's a lot of truth that's coming out, and truth is the highest, right? Truth is the highest. So this is truth that's coming in for us, but not everybody wants to see it. Not everybody wants to hear it. A lot of people are just like, no, 6 feet, you know, but this is where it's like, no, we're going to find where there's going to be a lot of defiance, where it's like, no, I'm, you know, fuck this. I'm going to have my family here. This is where you're going to be pushing limits. And this energy is coming forth, and especially, you know, because Saturn, once he goes in there, he went in there in March, and we sort of like, oh yeah, okay, this is kind of different. This is okay. But he's only there for a short while and retrograded back into Capricorn. Finished off what he had to do there. Now he's full, and he's full on. But the change here is that the last time he didn't do that, one, he did not conjunct Jupiter, and two, he didn't square Uranus in Taurus, which has to do with the people, which has to do with us coming together and uniting within this crazy darkness that's coming in, that dark of the soul. And the dark of the soul is not to be afraid of. The darkness of the soul is the transformation of us taking that metamorphosis and becoming that butterfly, and learning our flight, and learning how to fly, and learning how to take it to new heights. That's where the beauty of the energies are, is us exalting into something better, in something bigger, and being able to fly and think outside of the box and not go along with the norm. Where things, and you know, where you know, when you see the news gaslighting us, well, if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen, and you can't do anything if you don't have this. It's like, whoa. Since when is it pushed upon me that I have to do something or stick something in my body that I do not want to put in? When I'm channeling and I'm sneezing, I know it's truth. Just an FYI, that's what my shamans used to tell me. And so bringing that energy forth to become the authority of self and not get lost in the emotional self. That's going to be a big one. Thank you. Once you understand the darkness within, it becomes less scary and more healing. Definitely, Amanda. You're absolutely right. It does. Because the thing is, when you hear things like, you know, and I had one of my readings yesterday, and it's wonderful when I do readings with her, because I end up bringing in the Divine Lord Jesus to come through, and and you can channel Jesus. He will come in and talk to you. So it is like coming in and having that alignment coming forth. And his main message, it was like, you know, don't fall for the darkness. Don't fall in and think and fall into the darkness. It's coming in and coming into the light. You got to stay in that light and coming into that. The Divine Lord Jesus, yes, the Divine Lord Jesus. And coming into that alignment. Because that conjunction with, I mean, I know Dwayne, but I mean, the thing is that conjunction is the same conjunction 800 years ago. It's the same conjunction that was over 2,000 years ago when the age of Pisces entered. So we are in this transformational time of creating something absolutely fabulous. but it's stepping into that truth of that light. And when I say, when I bring in that energy of the divine Lord Jesus, I'm not talking to you as a Christian. I'm not talking to you with any dogma. I'm talking to you about that energy. There's no script. There's no written word here. This is coming in with that energy of love, that energy of creating and bringing in community, of accepting others for who they are and where they are at. This is going to be a huge act on bringing in community. And this is going to be where we have to be prepared in many ways. Where I said a long time ago, are you prepared with your food? Are you prepared, financially? Some of us are, some of us aren't. But there are things that we can prepare. If we can't do some of that, we can prepare for ourselves spiritually and coming into the light. Because we are going to be building a community. And having that community. So this is preparation. And with that Uranus in Taurus, we know that there's not stability. Things are going to come in and it's going to be radically changing. Very radical. And there's going to be a lot more that's going to come in. And if you watch, and if you're just watching as an observer, all the information that's coming in, watch as an observer and see where it's sitting in you. Is it sitting where it's like, yeah, this is like, oh, this does not feel right. Or, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So this is coming in and this is really getting you to be in tune with your own body, be in tune with your own self. And aligning yourself with that truth, aligning yourself with that substance. And this is becoming your authority of you, that sovereign of you, of saying, this is who I am, this is what I stand for. And it's a big one. And the one image I get is in Tiananmen Square, when he stood up against, and he stood in front of the tank, and it's like, that's, how it's going to be feeling is like, we're going to have to stand up because the thing is that if you ever watch a cat, when a cat gets, frightened, it makes itself bigger. I'm scary. You see little kittens do that too. They're like, you're like, oh yeah, you're really big and scary. But that's the thing, is that when we're fearful or when something wants to scare us, it wants to get bigger. So it can feed off our fear. Because when we see it, it's like, whoa, I don't want to go there. And we got to look at that and we got to say no. Because the thing is that fear never, that darkness never lasts. It never lasts. The light is always constant. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. And the reason why I say the divine Lord Jesus, because it's a trigger to a lot of people. And I love triggering people because they get so into the dogma and into that indoctrined of, oh, this is what you mean. No, I'm talking about the essence and that essence, because that's the essence that has to come in. That's the essence that has to come forth so that we can stand in our totality, in our beauty. That's where the essence is. And when we stand in that essence, as a shaman, as a psychic, as an astrologer, as an intuitive, as we stand in that light of who we truly are, as a witch and a pagan, as a Jew, as a Christian, of a Muslim, of whoever, if you stand in that truth, the truth of it, you stand in that exaltation and that authority of you. That's where it is. And yeah, we're exhausted. Yes, Capricorn energy is not easy, but it's bringing us to where it's like, yeah, I got this. I got this. And this is going to bring me something fucking fabulous. So that's where we want to go. We want to go into our truth. And you know your truth, because this is where you have to feel it, baby. You got to feel it. And when you feel it, you got to trust it, because that's not going to take you down the wrong road. And that's feeling that truth. That's feeling that part of you. And even though many are not going to like what I say or what you say, that's a them issue. That's not a you issue. And I'm telling you through that, not only through what my guides are showing me, but also through what the energies are coming through the astrology. Because the astrology is there. It just does what it does. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to believe in it, but it's showing you this is what we've done for tens of thousands of years, and it hasn't fucking changed. Jupiter still just does what he does in that bigness. Same with Saturn. Same with Uranus. Even before they were discovered, they were still doing what they were doing. The moon, the eclipse, the change that eclipses change shit. Last year, the eclipse, where was it? Over Wuhan, China. And the information that came out near the end of the year, that's what they figured, oh my God, shit's going to hit the fan in this world. And it's going to bring in the biggest, craziest setup that we've ever seen. And this is, at the beginning of the year where there's the fear, like unknown fear, what's going on. Yet now we're coming in and we're saying like, okay, this is getting kind of freaky and kind of scary and very not exactly what I know is my truth. And we're stepping in and we're saying, whoa, okay, you know what? I'm coming out of my cocoon. I'm coming out of my and I'm stepping in, and it's going to take me a little bit to get it out, because I got to like flutter if you've ever seen a butterfly, they flutter. And because they got to dry their wings, and they got to look at their new body. They got to look at that newness, and they say, oh, wow, look at, I can still take this. Look at, oh my God, I got wings. I could fly. I can fly. I can bring it in. The North Node Gemini is going into the Lemurian energy. Mermaids, transformation. Beautiful energy there, right? The unicorn energy coming forth and coming in. Sounds crazy. Why do little kids love fairies and unicorns? Right? Because they see that magic and that beauty that's there, right? And it makes them laugh and giggle. And that's where we have to go. We have to go into our laughter and our giggle. We need to play some music today. We need to dance. We need to move and allow the movement to flow through us. We're going to find that we are going to have to take some risks as we step forward. Sing. Yes, Tessa, sing. So we're going to find that. Put some Christmas carols on. Come on. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you know what, you put on a certain Christmas carol. Everybody knows the words. It's like putting Neil Diamond on. Doesn't matter what era you're from. You put Neil Diamond on, everybody can sing his song, right? It's like, oh yeah, I know this song. Boom, boom, boom. So it's just coming into that. That's where the grace of God is. That's where the truth is. And when you step into it, it is so fucking sweet and orgasmic. And that's where we want to go. So I know today there's going to be a lot of heaviness that's going to come in. I get it. Saturn slipping in. Tomorrow he's going in. Right? But this is where, you know what, we gotta dance our way through this. And especially as we're going to go into 2021, my peak into 2021 is, December 28th. I just wanted you guys to get through I was going to do it sooner, but I felt no, let's. It'll be easier to explain everything after we go through it. So, especially for December 21st and the changes that are going, right? I feel so much respect and love for you, my guiding air. Aw, thank you, Dana. Thank you. Blessings to you. Yeah, it's taking the blinders off, taking the blinders off. And it's not, and as you do it, where a lot of things that I wrote yesterday up there, it's like, telling people this is where, it's like, yeah, we're going to be rebuilding, but there's going to be a lot of shit that's going to happen. A lot of shit that's going to happen. And it's where you got to stand in that truth of you. That's going to be the important, and be that authority. And you know what? Accept that divine essence. If you want, you could say, you know what? If this will trigger people. This is going to be a real trigger. Accepting Jesus as your light. That's a big trigger. Never would have said that about a year ago to people. But with this alignment, it's like, holy fuck, yeah, okay, I'm going with the hippy dippy dude. That's who I'm going. He is the true King of Cups. He's the King of Cups with a dash of the King of Wands, right? So he's coming in with passion and love, and he's coming in and he's showing the light, because he wants to create community. That's the number one. I want to create community, right? Creating that community in harmony and understanding and in peace, and coming into that sovereignty. So sending you guys off with so much love today. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. I'm going to be down at Blessed Circle today from 11 till 3. And so if you want to come down, have a cup of tea, come down and see us. It's at 224 13th Avenue Southwest. We are open. And come in and join, come in, take a look around. I will be, I have my bath bombs and stuff down there. So if you want to pick up any bath bombs, you can pick up some bath bombs. And there's some really new deck of tarots or whatever. Come on down, have a cup of tea with us. We're there. We love it when people just come in and hang out. It's just, and the vibes of that house are very beautiful, because the energies of the spirits of the house really love to entertain. The lady of the house loves to entertain. The spirit of the house loves to entertain. So come on down, right? So, and sending that energies to you all, and sending that all back to you. So, and what I say is going to trigger a lot of people. What I say, is going to really bring in. So bringing in that energy of Jesus to you. Have a blessed one, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.